Roy Jones can create history.
There is indeed. The Russian Michael Buffer is in the ring. Alex Hьюз is in the ring. Murad Dalkhadov is in the ring. And commentary team tonight, of course, it is the former WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Barry Jones. And the first voice you hear after the Russian Michael Buffer is, of course, the smooth voice of boxing, Mr. John Rawley.
Thank you very much, Bunsey. Good afternoon, everybody. Murad Dalkhaev being introduced to the crowd. 5 victories to his name.
5 victories, including 3 wins by way of knockout, 5 losses.
5 losses. 29 years old. Murad Dalkhaev. Alex Hьюз there, significantly the taller man.
Ниже пояса не бей. Команда стоп, все действия кончились. Команда брейк, шаг назад. Поняли? Удачи. По углам.
Alex Hьюz undefeated in 6 fights, trained by Gary Lockett. You can see it's an enormous indoor arena, an ice stadium. Not too many fans in here yet, but there will be a raucous crowd come the main event. Alex Hьюz, a middleweight. Been working in the run-up to this with Nick Blackwell. That'll be a good experience.
Oh, great experience. And Blackwell's on a roll, isn't he? You know, British champion. And Alex Hьюz, I'm sure, is going to be a future British champion. He's done nothing wrong so far in his career. Looked brilliant, powerful, patient, and really skillful.
What's the right pronunciation, since you're from that neck of the woods, Barry, of the village he comes from? M-A-E-R-D-Y.
What, Mardy?
Mardy. Just down the road from Tylerstown. I can get that one right. That's where
Tylerstown.
Jimmy Wilde came from.
I boxed in Tylerstown.
Fighting part of the world. Jimmy Wilde, the ghost with the hammer in his hand. One of the best fighters ever to come out of Wales, some might say. I'm sure those who support Joe Calzaghe would say differently, but some would say arguably the best ever. That's an aggressive start from Dalkhaev, trying to work the body of Hьюz.
And got around the elbows to his credit, Dalkhaev. What I like about Hьюz, he's only 21, such a bit, so young, baby in boxing terms, but he's so composed. You know, he's boxing people now who shouldn't be beating him, but just giving him the right tests, you know, of pressure or work rate, or just trying to stay in there. That this guy here hasn't been stopped before, but you know, he never rushes his work. You know, very accurate, gets punches off in combinations.
I like one of the quotes he came out with, which I saw in the run-up to this. He said, "What's the point of not aiming high? If you don't think and don't want to win a world title, then what's the point of going into the sport?"
Yeah, and I think in this day and age things have changed. You know, before we always want to be world champion, we'd whisper it and sort of be shouting about British titles. But now, you know, these kids are so ambitious and so talented. Let's be honest. You know, they're rightfully saying, "I'm going to be a world champion."
Hьюz, who's worked extensively with the likes of Liam Williams, who's in the corner tonight, Gavin Rees, Blackwell, as you've heard. It's a great learning environment. It's in the Gary Lockett gym.
There's a bit of variety there from Hьюz. Dalkhaev keeping his hands up nice and high. I'd like to see this Dalkhaev just put a bit more pressure on Hьюz. Just get a little bit faster with his punches or with his feet. Just walking onto Hьюz, making it a little bit too easy here for Alex.
Looks strong though, Dalkhaev, doesn't he? He comes in on the back of a couple of wins, and he's never been stopped, I notice. Oof. He laid it on there for you. And just clipping Hьюz, little reminder with the left hand.
Yeah, I think Hьюz needed that. I don't think it hurt him at all, but he needed to get a little clip. Just to, you know, things are just too easy for him at the moment. So having everything your own way, sometimes you can get a little bit complacent, and you know, a little slap round the head can sort of put you back on track. But a good round there for Alex Hьюz. Doing what he wanted, nice and comfortable and relaxed, and landing some nice uppercuts.
Some of the action from the opening round. 6th round of this.
There's the uppercut there from Hьюz, big little shot. But Dalkhaev has had a few successes of his own. But see Hughes there, just be a little bit, just keep that mind just switched on a little bit more.
Alex Hughes was a good rugby player as a lad. Scrum half, and number 10 was his preferred place, fly half. Actually good enough to have been offered a trial by Cardiff, but deciding that boxing is the way ahead. Never got picked for Wales. He was offered a GB trial as a youngster, but by then he'd met Gary Lockett and decided that his heart was going to be in the pro game.
Yes, it's quite bizarre, isn't it? He never got picked for Wales. I don't really know the background too much, whether there was somebody at his weight that was a little bit special, but unless all of a sudden he's just since he turned pro, he's shown how good he actually is.
Had a bit of a problem getting his licence initially. Had a brain scan irregularity, and so he was just working away in the gym, learning his trade. And we've already told you some of the stars who he worked with there. Just being told off for pushing Dalhkaeff back, not allowed, of course, but a good learning experience, you guess.
Yeah, it does definitely.
Be interesting to know who the Welsh stars were at that time who were stopping and being selected. They must be able to fight a bit.
Unbelievable, it must be crazy. Sometimes your face just doesn't fit. I don't know the politics or anything, but sometimes actually you just don't get noticed, or your face don't fit. Things don't work out.
Good body shot there from Hughes. Remember the first, would he? There's been a few who, I mean, Ricky Hatton got very disillusioned early on with the amateur game, didn't he?
Dalhkaeff here, even though when he gets close to Hughes, he gets a few punches off, but he's too laboured in his work, just plodding forward, and it's just a little bit too easy for Alex Hughes. He's keeping his hands up nice and tight, Dalhkaeff, so making it hard for Hughes to penetrate the target, but it's so easy for young Hughes.
Likes to switch a bit as well, doesn't he, Alex? Switches easily into the southpaw stance, just for a bit of variety's sake, leading off with the right hand there.
The first time I saw him was up in Sheffield back last Christmas, last December. Well, almost not far off a year ago, and he boxed. I think he gave away a fair bit of weight and got rid of the kid in the first round. He looked really good.
Well, he'll do well to get rid of Dalhkaeff, because he'll be doing something for a start which nobody else has. Two of those clubbing right hands, looking as though they're going a little bit close to going around the back of the head of Hughes from Dalhkaeff. It's a nice sharp right hand from Hughes.
Just need to switch on the body of Hughes. He's done that little light flash flurries to the head, lift the elbows up, and then he whip down with the left hook.
2 rounds out of 2, 4 to go.
He's having it all his own way, isn't he, at the moment? The best you can say for Dalhkaeff is that he's making Hughes work a little bit, but even that, it's still quite comfortable for Hughes. Dalhkaeff's going to have to really put the foot on the pedal if he's going to want to make an impact.
Dalhkaeff's face starting to mark up a little, the old scar tissue on the bridge of his nose, reddened.
Well, Dalhkaeff's punches, they look better in slow motion, because when you see him in real time, he's pushing the punches, isn't he? So there's no real snap or much weight behind him. And obviously in slow motion, you don't see that. I just see him landing the tag and they look more impressive, but he's not really doing much to trouble young Alex Hughes. Who's not doing anything wrong. Maybe like to see Hughes use the jab a little more, a little bit stronger behind the jab.
Looking forward to seeing the main event, Roy Jones in action later on, of course. Something slightly surreal about that, isn't there? If you'd said 20 years ago that Roy Jones was going to be a Russian citizen and fighting in front of a sold-out arena in Moscow, people that have said, yeah, come on.
Against the Welshman.
And that's the reality, and that's what we're looking forward to seeing.
Well, it was almost surreal seeing Joe Calzaghe in the ring with Roy Jones back in 2008. So now to see him.
And here we are 7 years later.
In with an old gym mate in Enzo Machinelli.
And more Welsh presence here with Alex Hughes and Gary Lockett, of course, who's been associated with Welsh boxing not only as a trainer but as a very good middleweight in his own right. Heavy-handed Gary was.
Oh, Gary's smashing little fighter. Listen to me.
Well, you're growing a bit, Barry. You're starting to look at people in different ways.
Yeah, I couldn't make middleweight anymore. Let alone featherweight. And Zach Davis is out there as well, so yeah, there's a good Welsh presence.
Nice variety of punches from Hughes, but Dalkhaev very resilient. There's a bit of head going in there. Well, the referee doesn't do anything about that. It's the pushing he wants to admonish them for.
That's better there from Dalkhaev. Just needs to be a bit stronger with that jab, as I said earlier there, Alex Hughes. He's controlling everything, and even he's only getting caught because he's deciding to go close. I'm hoping Dalkhaev's going to open up.
Dalkhaev every now and again keeps throwing a great big speculative right hand. He's giving it a go.
There's just no pace in the punches to cause any problems for Hughes. That's the difference.
Well, he's saying to him, I've warned you and I've warned you for the pushing off. And the referee, I suspect, if Hughes continues with this, is in the mood to take away a point from him. Fair?
Yeah, well, this a little bit of overreaction, I think, from a referee. But once you start warning a guy once, then you got to stick to your guns, I think. But Hughes doesn't need to be that close. I'm not saying he got to run, but like I said, I don't want to just try and prove my point right. But I think if he throws a solid jab and steps in behind it, pushes this fella back with it, then he keeps the distance nice and long. This guy got a punch from the range where he's uncomfortable, and then Hughes can get that right hand on target and still be in a safe place to return his punches without getting caught back.
Dalkhaev giving it a go. See what Gary Lockett's saying.
I know. Yeah. So what I want you to do is hit him with a bang, and then just step around the side. Come with your hands up. All right? Okay. Bang, 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 step around the side. Bang, solid jab. You start doing this business then. I thought you were tired. No, it's all right. Take a sip and you jab, all right? When you're ready.
Big exchanges in that round, which again look rather better in slow-mo than they did live. Slow-mo's a television term.
Thank you.
You're going to check a point.
That was my ring name. Barry Slow-Mo Jones.
So into the fourth, second half of the fight now. This opening six-rounder for you on this bill brought to you from Russia this afternoon. And the Welshman from Mardi, Alex Hughes, 21 years old, looking to maintain his undefeated record. And he's not done too badly so far. If you're just joining us, he's, well, on our card anyway, done enough to have taken the first 3 rounds.
Oh yeah, he's done it. He's done everything. The only time the other guy's landing punches when Hughes either switches off for a few seconds or stays in close and allows him to let his hands go to open, he's going to open up. And still remember, Alex Hughes, 21. So young.
And he's got some, at that age, you'd suspect he's probably, I mean, I know there are exceptions who've had hatfuls of fights by that age, usually Mexicans like Alvarez or Barrera or somebody, but you'd expect that there's a little bit more man strength still to come.
Yeah, and you're right, not just in the punches, but in the actual physical strength of being able to hold your ground and push people back without having to use your arms too much to push them back. Just your presence is be able to bully people.
A big shove from Alex Hughes, and the referee looks at him as a shrug of his shoulders, saying, I've told you, you're doing it again.
He's pacing himself well, Hughes. He's not. No, I think this guy he tries to knock this guy out. This guy looks tough, and if he can't, he's blowing. You see it so many times, don't you, with young fighters trying to get a guy out of there. It doesn't work, and then the last 2 rounds, they're clinging on for their life. And we're not going to see that tonight with Hughes. He looks, he's paced himself nice and well. They haven't overexerted himself.
It's hard to see him actually putting this fella away, isn't he? He certainly has the look of permanence. There's a couple of nice, sharp, straight punches from Hughes and another one.
I did see that uppercut again from Hughes. He started the fight off with a lovely right uppercut in the first round. I think there's opportunities to let that punch go a little bit more often. Just clipped again. It's only a light little left hook. They're just going back in straight lines there, Hughes, and just got clipped with a little left hook.
Right hand is getting a wee bit closer, which Dalkhaev is looking to tee off. Swinging overhand right.
Yes, got to be careful of that. There, I think that's the referee's got away with it then, just dipping down and pushing with the forearms. There, Hughes. No, we let it go. In the UK and in America, they let things like that go, but obviously this referee's having none of it. That's nice. Again, a little bit of switching there you were talking about earlier, John, from Hughes. And doubling up with the southpaw jab. A lovely uppercut as well.
A nice boxing again.
Boxing well.
Good balance.
There's no fireworks, is there? There's no, but his boxing is stuck together well under pressure. No, he's not pacing the fight perfectly, I think, Alex Hughes.
He gets close, he does the same thing. Bang, bang.
Really been able to move Dalkhaev though, has he? He's boxed smartly, but he's a hard bloke.
Yeah, he's tough, isn't he? He's shown that. Some of those right hands there.
Dalkhaev very much comes from the old boots team, doesn't he?
But some of those right hands that Hughes have caught him with through the guard, you know, they're demoralising shots. He's taken right flush on the nose, and then Dalkhaev hasn't blinked and nothing haven't discouraged him at all.
You can bet that Vladimir Putin will be keeping a close watch on things this afternoon. Instrumental in getting Roy Jones his passport.
It's quite bizarre, isn't it? It's just a crazy situation.
Footwork again from Hughes, using the ropes nicely. Face of Dalkhaev markedly deteriorating in its appearance.
Nice fast hands there from Alex Hughes again. Moving well, boxing well. Funny these fights like this that are put on early on builds because there's no atmosphere. You know, if this is a packed arena all of a sudden, they put this on just before the Jones-McAnally fight. And this is quite a relatively exciting fight in many ways.
Well, it's not a bad fight, is it?
No, exactly.
Dalkhaev's on the front foot. He's appearing to be the aggressor, and occasionally, like there, with one of those long hooks, he's getting through.
It's just because there's a void of atmosphere because there's nobody in the crowd at the moment. No, not far off there with that uppercut, Hughes. That's him with Dalkhaev, he doesn't cut the ring off, does he? Following Hughes around. So making it quite easy for Alex. Again, there's nice fast hands. And they're not heavy shots, but they're enough to stop the guy from coming forward to give you space to move off the ropes.
Is Hughes the sort of fighter who's not a particularly big puncher? Is it just that he's recognised that this fella's the type who you're just not going to get rid of, so stick to your boxing?
I got a feeling it might be a bit of both. I think he'll knock people out cold because he's technically quite good. He got good, you know, I think his technique's pretty good when he lets the punches go. But I don't think he's a huge puncher yet, from what I can see. But I think this guy is quite tough.
It's getting easy now for Hughes.
Well, the problem is with Dalkhaev, you know, having to do all the work, I come forward all the time. Once he starts to tire, Hughes got a bit, give Hughes a bit more time to let his punches off, then it's easy.
Dalkhaev is blowing now, mouth hanging open, and there's a bit of damage to that mouth as well. A rather ugly wheal around about the left eye, just underneath, and that's a very comfortable round. Very widely he takes that one. Alex Hughes on our card makes it 5 out of 5.
Well, to be honest, and it's been getting easier for him the last couple of rounds. You know, I think he's been boxing better as the fight's gone on. Alex Hughes.
Russian director trying to highlight a bit of work when things were going Dalkhaev's way. They're having to look quite carefully to find those.
Good variety is showing there though from Dalkhaev there. Overhand right, then going on left up to the body. You see it again now. Just round the guard. Takes the left hook to the body. Looks like he's spinning around the target actually. That looks pretty good. And a nice little sharp left hook counter back from Hughes.
Well, if nothing goes wrong, if Hughes just sticks to his boxing here, one would suspect that the decision is going to go his way as we go into the last round.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he boxed quite well. I think Gary Lockett will be happy. You know, he won't show it on his face, of course, because he never smiles. But he'll be more than happy with the performance. He boxed well. He's been nice and safe, and taking any silly risks.
Gary Lockett smiles quite a lot at me. I think that's just a personal thing, Barry. It's just your effect.
John, this is not me saying it, John. This is a well-known fact in the boxing world. He's a bit of a grump, is Gaz.
Right, okay, well, you stand. you want to make that sort of statement. You can stand by it. Bit of an effort from Dalkhaev starting the final round with an injection of pace.
Just had to take a lovely little uppercut there though off Alex Hughes. Dalkhaev in close. Good left hook as well. I don't know what that is.
I think that was a bit harsh. I think it was the right. I think it was the right hand he was talking about. It didn't look like to me. That's a great shot. There's a nice variety about Alex Hughes' work here.
Yeah.
And all we're speaking, of course, in the assumption that the scorecards tally with the way we're seeing it, but surely Hughes has won this one with a degree of comfort. Another lovely left hook.
Because he's had to work hard, Dalkhaev, and he hasn't got the same strength or pressure. Now Hughes with a bit more time to let his punches go. Picking a target, showing his strength now for a young man. Look at what I like about him, his composure. He got the time he gives himself. For such a young man, it's quite mature and nice to see. Because most young people now will be going all out to try and finish the fight off in a flurry, and maybe getting caught with a stupid shot or a head or something silly.
Way to go. Learning curve. 21 years old, only a pro for not much more than a year. He looks as though he's somebody who's got some real potential.
That's lovely there.
Cracking left hand.
Everything about it through a little light combination. Just twitch the shoulders, make the punches miss, and then come back with the left hand.
I'm down, other side.
And Gary Lockett calling him on, I think.
Body shot. He started to get to Dalkhaev, I suspect, with these body shots. I think he's starting to feel them here in this 6th round.
To be fair to Dalkhaev, though, he's still trying. He's caught Hughes again with the left hook.
Well, he's made a fight of it. And here he comes now, trying to use his own strength to push Hughes back in this last 10 seconds. Big finish from Hughes. And that is a thoroughly entertaining 6-rounder to open the show. Sure, if you're watching with us, you'll have enjoyed that one. So far as the hall's concerned, just a shame that a few more for this early fight are not here.
I thought it was a good performance there from Hughes. Nice and controlled, paced himself really well, closed the show with a nice few flurries. Some of the punches he threw were really classy. Got caught with a few little clips where he switched off every now and again. But there's not much really you could complain about. I think maybe a few more feints, you know, a bit more strength behind the jab now and again, just to make the guy walk onto a heavy shot. But apart from that, I think he boxed really well. And you got, just going back to his age again, 21 for the middleweight is no age at all. It's going to be hard. The hardest thing's going to be is matching him right to keep him from going too fast too soon.
Yeah, in sporting terms, very much in boxing terms. A baby, he's at the beginning of the learning curve, and he's boxed well here tonight. Dalkhaev, brave effort, made a fight of it, but surely on the wrong end of a significant and clear win.
По завершении 6-раундового боя единогласным решением судей победу одержал. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by unanimous decision, Alex Hughes.
Well, there you are. Didn't catch the scores, but it's by unanimous decision, and Alex Hughes continues his winning progress, and that makes it 7 out of 7.